you, Swati. Thank you, Mishraji. And thanks to my young students here who are going to be future for the country tomorrow. You know, Swati is my younger sister, and I cannot say no to her whenever she asks me to come. And in fact, I was out of town. I just came directly from the airport. But I love to be with the young students for two reasons. One, I believe that your knowledge is better than ours. Because in today's world, you are far more, at least on theory, if not on practical, you're far ahead. The education standards have gone up. The way economy has developed in India has given great opportunities of learning. If I compare my time of education and today, I think it's just not comparable. I mean, it's so vastly different. And therefore, I'm happy to be amongst younger students because there's a lot of opportunity for us to learn from you. We can share practical things with you. And second, obviously, is that, as I said, India is a great potential, which we have been talking for a long time, and the future is in your hands. You know, we are like on the exit gate, you are on the entry gate. That's the difference, and therefore I think you can really add a lot to our economy, and particularly finance sector, the importance which was not understood earlier. When I became a chartered accountant, the meaning of chartered accountant used to be that you need some person to do accounting. Books कैसे maintain करना, entries कैसे करनी है, trial balance बनाना है, at best balance sheet बनाना है. That's what the level used to be. But today, they've seen the change. The way the innovations have come in this sector, most of it obviously borrowed from the developed countries. But at the time when I became chartered accountant, the only way to get finance was banking. Go to a bank, get a loan, and that's it. Today, the whole scenario has changed. There are so many ways you can raise money. I think India's, I believe that why India is going to be a great country, because we have a very strong Atma in our country. And when I call Atma, I refer to two things which we have. Our Atma is democracy. Our second Atma is entrepreneurship. These two things are going to remain forever. Atma doesn't die. Only people change. So that is how I think our country has got two biggest advantages. Earlier, entrepreneurship could not develop because the financing was just not possible, not easy. But if you see the history of last since independence, at the time of independence, if you take a list of 50 top industrial top houses, today you will not find even 10 of them appearing in today's list. Why it has happened? The entrepreneurship was there even earlier, but there were no opportunities of raising money, and without money you can't go. So today you have PE funds, you have people even individually, angel funding is there, obviously various forms of structured funding, so many structures, different structures are now available, and therefore today money is not a problem. For any good business, for any good idea, you have a lot of money available. And along with these two advantages, obviously, we have one great advantage that we have excellent brain power. It's just not manpower, excellent brain power. I think God has been very kind when the intelligence was being allocated to people. I think Indians were in perhaps first line. May not be in terms of beauty, not be in terms of other things, but as far as intelligence goes, I think it's proven beyond doubt that Indians are one of the most brilliant creed or class in the world. Wherever they've gone, they've made fantastic names. Go to any part of the world, I think you'll find Indian managers around. I have, obviously, because you've seen my experience for the last about 50 years, I've been working for industry, then I set up on my own. But that entrepreneurship was there in my, and therefore I left my job at the age of 48 and started on my own. Took that risk, and fortunately, God has been kind enough. I think today, therefore, this combination of democracy, entrepreneurship, and brain power can do great wonders. It's unfortunate that we did not have the supportive bureaucracy and political management in this country. I remember when I was in school, there used to be a race called hurdle race. I don't know whether now these days it's there or not. It's still there? So one day I asked my teacher, why are you asking us to do hurdle race? Allow us to run. Remove the hurdles, allow us to run. The teacher said, no, this is a part of the course prescribed, we can't change it. But when I came in real life, I realized why it was so important. We were taught that you will have so many hurdles. If you want to do any business, if you want to do anything, you have to pass through in this country the maximum hurdles compared to any other part of the world. I have experience of working in different parts of the world, being part of working in Birla Group. And what I found, that if an Indian manager goes, he will succeed without fail, because you don't face hurdles, The first example, when Birla Group wanted to set up a plant in Thailand, we went there and we asked the government that, look sir, how much time will it take to give us the license? So the reply was, what license? Well, sir, we want to set up a textile mill. Well, we don't have anything called licensing. So then second we asked, how about land? In how many days land could be acquired and given to us? He said, how much land do you need? We said, about 50 acres. Well, that's available. Today itself it can be given. So he said, how much time a power connection will take? So a lot of, environmental clearances, so many things. After asking 10 questions, that minister to whom we were talking, he asked, sir, do you have the money to establish the plant? If you have the money, then why are you asking these questions? In Thailand, put up the money up front and you will get all clearances in 1 week, whatever you want. Now that's how, today Thailand became the automobile hub of Asia and not India. So we have a history of lost opportunities in any area where the government was involved. The success of IT sector came because government itself didn't know what IT was, and there was no Ministry of IT. So it developed without any hurdles. But now there also, so I think in this country you have to be prepared, boys and girls, for facing hurdles. You can't run away from that. Hopefully, I think the things will change. My view of our democracy is that we are now at the third stage of democracy. The first two stages, first stage when we started democracy, the entire political game was played on the basis of caste or religion. These were the basis, the candidate was put up on that basis. Not that it is not a consideration now, but compared to what we saw in early stages of our democracy, it was completely based on that. Then the second stage came when votes were asked on the basis of soaps, lollipops, subsidies, grants, and that is the way to vote. Now this is the third stage, which we have seen only in last 10 years, this change you might have observed. Now people want performance, people want delivery, and that is why you can see successively 2, 3, 4 governments getting elected again and again. People are not now worried about the other things. They want, because young people like you don't want free food to come. You want an opportunity to engage yourself in a job or in a business where you can see a future for yourself. And that's what people are looking for. And therefore, I think as this young generation now comes to be eligible for democracy, I think things will change. I am hopeful. Actually, if this last 4 assembly elections, if they are of an indication, they have clearly shown that now it's not anti-incumbency or incumbency. I think the fact is those who delivered have really won the game again and again. Those who haven't, they have been, the way, don't take me, I'm not a politician, I'm not connected with any party. But basically the way you saw the results of Congress in Delhi, what did it clearly show? That for such a party to get only 10% seats in Delhi, in Rajasthan, was unthinkable. I don't think nobody could have, even in wildest imagination, would have thought that this would have happened. So I think, for you, there is a great opportunity. What do we need? Obviously, we need intelligence you have, because those who are doing MBA could not have come to this level unless until they have done. Your courses are fantastic, and I think the amount of learning which you are going through, you are really becoming sort of a global student now. Your education is not restricted to what is happening here. You go through the case studies all over the world. You learn. Today our own industries have developed so much, so your practical training when you go, you really learn a lot. So there are a lot of opportunities in the finance field, but not limited to. The advantage of finance is that, those who think in terms of numbers and results, they can identify the KRAs far more clearly than most others, because unfortunately the way our education system has developed, we have developed experts in the field, we have engineers, but we have not made them commercially oriented engineers. Or if we have produced finance executives, they are not technology oriented. Now of course a lot of technology is coming, that's good. So I think as we have multiple skills imparted to you during your education course, things are going to be great. I think 5 minutes, I'll like 5-7 minutes maybe. I don't want to take it to a boring thing that these are the products and these are the new things which you can do. I think you learn that enough in your classes. What I am trying to do is to share my experience, my thoughts with you. And in case there is a question-answer session, then I'll be happy to, in fact, be more sort of active thinking, because important for us to know is what is that you would like to know. That's more important. I think the Indian economy is also, I believe, is in very good shape. In time to come, we have lost opportunities, as I said, because of lack of policy formation. More importantly, lack of implementation, because of too much of hurdles which I talked of. They are bureaucratic hurdles, which are political hurdles. I think we have to work system where things should be done without hurdles. See, why can't you have a system? And since Mr. Ji has BMC experience, I would like to say that if you want to build a house, you your architects are approved, they are part of, like chartered accountants are part of this thing that certify accounts. After they certify accounts, nobody else, company law department will not all go and see it again. So like if you have to construct a building and architect signs it, that these are as per the rules and regulations, why do you need clearances? Or you say that if there is any question, ask in 30 days, after 30 days it is automatic approved. Now why do you need environmental clearances? You can say that buildings in these areas don't need environmental clearances. So I think basically it is the accountability needs to increase and the procedural hurdles need to come down. I think if that can happen, because I analyzed the Economist magazine about India. In 2000, they thought that India can become a superpower very fast. And about 25 years back, our economy, or even less than that, and Chinese economy were at the same level. What has happened in the last 20 years? Their economy has become almost triple size than ours. What is the reason? Reason is simple, that there doing business is much easier. Once you get approval at one place, you don't have to go and ask everybody. In our country, every person in the bureaucratic has enough powers to stall things. He'll write some note on the file and then, today you must have seen that in this defense, why Mr. Joshi resigned and now the stories are coming, that every file for purchase for a submarine used to travel 100 times between the Navy and the government. Now how can they say that we are the oldest, our average life of submarines is 30 years. No other country in the world has such an old submarine. So I think we as young people need to address that issue also. As a voter now, because I think most of you are voters in this election, otherwise obviously in next election, don't leave your vote. Vote is your powerful tool. Don't leave it. Use it. Whomso you think can deliver. And also there have to be pressure groups. Bangalore has created pressure groups on the government. They go and make representations continuously to see that what is happening. Why the conditions of our infrastructure so bad? Bombay we want to make a financial hub of the world. And today we are far behind than Dubai. Dubai is progressing faster than we are doing. So I think while opportunities are great, I think what we need is more implementation. And for that, I believe that all of you young people can do far better at putting the pressure. Even as students, you can create pressure groups. Go and make presentations to the government or ministers. In democracy, that's the advantage, that your voice will be heard. So I see a great opportunity because, as I said, bigger advantage we have democracy, entrepreneurship, and brain power. On top of that, we have so many areas. Any area, the growth potential is unlimited. Be it infrastructure, be it industrial production. Why is our export so low compared to other parts of the world? Why China's export so high? What is that we can't do and they can do? I think the difference basically is the commitment from the political side, the way our bureaucratic systems work. If we can bring improvement on them, and that is important for your career also. If you want to build a great career, start learning to put pressure and reduce the number of hurdles in the hurdle race. If there are 20, remove them, at least 10 remove them before you go and enter this field. Then I think you can all achieve great things. Thank you so much for patiently listening, and I'm sure if you have any questions, I'll
And when you become MBA, that's what I think you carry on your forehead, that I will take care of this. Innovation, you tell me? Industry has the only what you can say, industry has the only introduction and innovation. There is no industry in the world can run without innovation. Today industry is struggling to manage all the tax compliances. I met a very big company vice president. 2 lakh crore company. I will not take the name for the ethics sake. He's vice president and he said we have 3,755 people just making the compliances of taxes every year. If I have to make 1 crore turnover, I have to pay 16% excise duty. So I try to make turnover less than 1 crore. I finish it at 99 lakhs, so that I don't have to pay excise on my product. So my product, though it is the best product in the world, cannot make a brand out. Because it never grows. Because of the compliance issue, the whole innovation has been like a bonsai tree. They are cut at the growth. And industry thrives only on innovation. Industry has no other face. Farmer has no other face than credit history. This country, every 40 minutes a farmer dies. He has only one request. He needs to have a credit history. A driver works for me. A boy works at my home. I pay them cash. I don't pay them in bank. After working 20-25 years, they don't develop any credit history. We need to understand all this. There are problems are many, but that's why we are 121 crore people country. Our young population will be much more than US. Entire population plus Europe, entire population plus 12 million more will be in 2020. We need to understand this, what I mean. We are building at our age. We did not do much for the country, but now we will do till we die. But we want to look at your eyes and say, let us do it together. I think that's enough for today. Thank you.
Trustees, Director, faculty, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. Innovation is the key to success of any business. Steve Jobs said that this is only innovation which distinguishes between a leader and follower. And as I work in the area of personal finance, I have seen many innovations in this segment in last few years, whether banking sector, investment, anything you talk about personal finance, there has been many innovations. I remember those days, maybe students might have not seen those days, but definitely the people were sitting in the front row. There was a time when just to inquire your bank balance, you had to stand in queue. There was a time when to just deposit in your PPF account some money, you had to stand in a queue if your agent does not come. But today, time changed. Most of your banking services you can do through ATM, but not limited to that. Even many services are available on your through mobile applications, through net banking, right from transferring money, bill payments, or any kind of banking services can be availed on mobile application itself. If you talk about investment, I know those days when there was trading was happening in the ring in stock exchange, then came that gold and now online trading. So you talk about anything in personal finance, right from the investment, banking, many innovations happened. But sometimes these innovations, because of help of technology, it has become an advantage, but sometimes it is taken as a challenge. Because if suppose that is not user friendly, then it becomes challenge. As Mr. Rathi very well said that now there is no problem for money. Seed capital, startup capital is available. There should be only idea. When I talk about personal finance, usually I always talk about that need of personal finance in education. There are many reasons behind that. One is because still, if you think about investment, I was going through the list of 25 wealthy people across the world. Rather 50 wealthy people across the world, but first 25 people created wealth through equity investment. But if you talk about India, we have population of 121 crore, but we have only 2 crore demat accounts. It means investment in equity, and that also will say that there will be many accounts which are inactive accounts, there will be duplicate accounts, So this is a situation that where innovation required. Though I say that there has been many innovations, but then why there is still limitation in investment? India is a hub for saving. People save money, but most of time it is lying either in bank account or, as said by Mr. Deepak, that black money. So if the money is there, why not being invested? Why wealth is not being created? So innovation is still required in that. And today, one innovation I was going through that, a mobile wallet. See, there was a time when you used to carry money, always there was threat of theft, then came that plastic money, your debit card, credit card, but still there was again threat of misuse of credit card or theft of credit card. Then came that mobile wallet. What is mobile wallet? Just transfer your money from your bank account or from your credit card to that mobile wallet, set a limit, and you can use that at merchant outlet. You can use making bill payments. You can transfer money to other parties. So there have been so many innovations. That is why when I say the need for financial education, especially in personal finance, because it is not limited to selling financial products. When I say that is personal finance, it's not only selling financial products in like mutual fund, insurance, or some equity products. There is need to develop more such applications which are user friendly, which can be helpful, which are innovative, and definitely if it is useful, if it is user friendly, and who can help it? Only the people who have not only IT knowledge but also knowledge in personal finance segment. Because most of time when we feel that application is not suitable and people are not accepting it, it is becoming challenge rather than becoming a source of help. The only reason because that has been developed by a person who can write code but is not aware about the nitty-gritty of personal finance. That is why there is further need that the industry, they come together with the institutes and develop some courses which are endorsed by these financial sectors, so that more and more job-oriented courses are developed and students have more job opportunities in financial sector. Thank you very much for giving opportunity. Thank you.